feeling on YouTube, Gen X. I really hate conversations about numbers and percents or whatever, because if you're a black woman and you constantly run to the numbers, for me it's a dead end argument. The men aren't going to change. There's nothing you can do. Even if you got these men to say, hey, I want to pull 180, by the time they would get to whatever standard you want, how old are you going to be? It's a wash. It's a done deal. It's a game over if it's so much about the numbers. It's like taking a car to a mechanic. You know, you got an older car, the transmission is shot, engine is shot, AC is shot. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. Get a new car. There's no way, there's nothing you can do with this car. And that's how I feel. And the dumb part about it is, I feel like a lot of the chicks know this. Especially with all the educated women in the room. Oh, she got her AA, she got her BA, she got her BS. She has her, master's in education or MA or PhD. Y'all are critical thinkers. You know what's going on. So the numbers game is a dead end. There's no real solution. And whatever solution that we may come up with, is that going to matter? Right? It's like, developing some cure. By the time you got the cure, is it going to save you? You're probably already going to be dead. Right? Or too far progressed in whatever illness you have to the point where it doesn't matter for you. And that's how I feel. And obviously there is no solution in sight, so why do you have this constant running to a dead end? The fact remains that you guys know it's about the brothers that are available, right? The brothers that do fit what you're looking for. Those are the men that you want to speak to. Those are the men that you want to highlight. But here's the problem, like I said before, you have the folding. Why? These same men, guess what, will have their standards, and guess what? They have the clout to defend their standards and to pretty much command what they want. And you can't overthrow them by saying, well, you're not making any money, you're not educated, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You can't. You have no leverage over them. So to be real with you, you're almost at the full mercy of what they're checking for. Hey, it is what it is. So now, that spirit of perfection is going to be up for review. All the areas that you guys have said, this is why we're quality, this is why we're so hot, this is how it's going to be, this is how it's not going to be, all of that is up for review. And stuff that you thought was, prominent may not have been. So the whole concept of, being educated or not having kids somehow adds to my sexiness. Now brothers are going to say, don't know about that. Sorry. That doesn't work for me. Or the whole concepts of, this is sexy, big and beautiful. All that's up for review. Every last little item that's been put out there, this is why I'm hot, this is why I'm so desirable, this is why we're doing well, all of that is up for review. So now you have to face the idea that that level of perfection isn't there. Or that whole spirit of, I can't be touched, my shit is just too hot. Now you're in a position where that's not going to happen. So now you're in the position where you're being chosen. And it's not one of those, I'm doing the choosing or whatever, I'm running the show. No. Even though these are the men that you want. So it is what it is. So like I said before, you have the folding. Or you have the women who are like, I don't know if I want to have this conversation. So let me run to the numbers. Let me run to the numbers, run to the numbers. I mean, like I said before, how hard is it to get a panel of brothers who get it? Right? Brothers who get it. Brothers who definitely want to date and marry black women to talk about what they're looking for. I mean, shit, I'll do it for you. Anybody that wants to see it done, give me a week, give me some money. I'll get you 10 brothers who are, well-to-do. Right? And I think that they would be the men that women would want, black women would want, and say, hey, go ahead and ask them whatever question you want to ask them, and they'll be more than willing to tell you what they're looking for, or what they find to be attractive, and what's acceptable versus what's not acceptable. We can do it. But once again, you're not going to get that dialogue between the men that are available with the black women who are seeking them, because now they have to deal with the fact that they're going to be judged. Now they're going to have to deal with the fact that somebody can hold them accountable and say, these are my standards. And guess what, honey? I can actually reinforce my standards, and I can show you I have the backing right, to have such standards, and I can reinforce them. So that would take a level of humbleness. That would take an element of coming into a discussion where you're going to walk away with stuff that you have to work on that you can't say it's because of X, Y, and Z. You're going to walk away knowing that your shit wasn't that hot to begin with. There's a lot of mediocrity amongst black women being passed off as greatness. All the inconsistencies, all the lack of adopting a true identity, all the going back and forth, all the one day being a diva, the next day being Miss Pro Black, all that shit, all the small nicks and crannies to all the major shit that brothers have ever said now comes up for review. And that's something that you have to deal with. And you combine the fact that a lot of y'all, right, have very limited dating experience or whatever when it comes to just, interacting with men, right, which never gets talked about. Right, a lot of these women have never dated. I still know women that are late 20s who've never really been on a date, never really dated a dude like that, but yet will complain about not having this and not having that. Right? So you sit there and you're like, you can clearly see why the conversation never happens. Because of the fear. Because like I said before, with all the brain power amongst black women, it's hard for me to believe that they haven't understood that the whole numbers game is a dead end. Nothing's going to come out of that because those men can't change, or at least they can't change within a time frame that would work for them, which is understood. The only reason why we as even brothers talk about what black women need to do is because it's easier for you guys to change. It's easier for you to go from a point of not being desirable to a point of being desirable, considering what a woman has to bring to the table. Compared to men where it's kind of like, damn, a big part of it is financial. So think about how difficult it's going to be for an older gentleman, with no or limited education or no employable skill, right, or a criminal record to be in a position to now support and provide for a family, let alone himself. It's very difficult. And that is a major piece for what you guys are looking for. And for a woman, you don't have to do all that. The whole idea of being a provider is not there. So it's easier for you to turn to 180. But even for me, I know there's a lot of chicks that are lost. There's certain numbers that would suggest that there's nothing you can do. Those women are lost. So really, it's just more so about focusing on the women that fall under what we are looking for as black men, and the women that may have the opportunity to change if they want to listen and, humble themselves. So it is what it is. But for me, I just sit back and laugh. And, you understand it's not even worth your time. Oh, this number. Like, why is a chick who is in her 30s worrying about numbers? Like, what is that going to do for you? Nothing. I mean, damn, I can understand if it was a 19, 20-year-old. Maybe if brothers, turned the corner, by the time she got to her mid-late 20s, she would be okay. But for the rest of y'all, what's numbers going to do? Okay, you're right. It's a numbers game. You're in a bad position because brothers are just that damn whack. What's going to happen now? You're right. Where do we go from here? Where do we go? What's the next move? What's the next conversation? Nothing. There is no next conversation. You want to know about the men that are available to you, what's going on or whatever, but there's that fear of, once again, you're going to be told about yourself or you're going to be held to somebody else's standard. And they can back up their standard. Like I said before, what brothers do better is at least we understand that, hey, the women that I want, right, they're going to have a certain standard that I have to be looking for. And even, I remember a couple of years and months ago, brothers got into it on Gen X and YouTube, where brothers have said that, listen, you can't come on and talk about the type of black woman that you want, but you yourself aren't doing certain things. It's not going to fly. And it goes the same when you flip it around. You can't complain about not getting a certain type of dude and not meet a certain criteria. And when it comes down to understanding that criteria, now you have the issue. Now you have that spirit of perfection that's going to be looked at, pulled apart, analyzed, broken down. Sorry, this doesn't work. Like I said before, all your Moniques and Patti LaBelle saying that they're thick and curvy. Nope. We know what thick and curvy is. Go watch Erykah Badu on Window Seat. all your sort of my master's degree somehow turns men on to me, all that is going to go out the window. All your chicks saying, well, I'm making good money, let's see what good money is. So all you women who are the payroll specialists saying that, we're blowing out of control, all of that gets brought up. Now you got men that can fend for themselves, they can fend for their families, they're A-okay. You want to have your career? Cool, we're going to be okay. You want to be a housewife? Cool, we're still going to be okay. You're dealing with that sort of dude. Even for your chicks who will say, well, I'm just super successful. Like I said, what's Kobe Bryant dating Oprah Winfrey? Yeah, Oprah got more money, but is it Kobe struggling? Is Kobe living off of Oprah's money? No. If they had kids and Oprah died or Oprah just left, are the kids going to be homeless out on the street? No. So I don't even care how much money, this is personal, I don't even care how much money she's bringing to the table. For me, I reached the mark that I want to make or whatever, I'm straight. That's cool. Your money's just icing on the cake. You don't want to work? Fine, we're still going to be okay. So once again, there's no, I hate to say it, but there's no debate over what these men are looking for. And there's no wiggle room. There is no, well, you're not on point, so I can be a heavyset. Or you're not on point, so I can be combative. You're not on point, so, I can do whatever. You don't have a job and I make more money than you, so I can do this and I can do that, or whatever. All that goes out the window. So I think I made my point. Y'all take it easy. You know where to find me. God bless.